Anger is tricky. A lot of people are not comfortable expressing anger. A lot of people think it's not appropriate to express anger in the workplace. I actually disagree. I think that if you're angry at somebody that you work with and your relationship with them is important and your anger is getting in the way of your ability to work productively with them, you have to find a way to talk about the anger. And I think there are good ways and not so good ways. I was working with a team once where I saw anger expressed in a not especially good way that I'll tell you about, and then what they did to kind of turn it around. It was a group of executives who were working together on a special project, and they came together and they had a meeting where they presented their results to the board and asked for the next phase of the project to be funded. And the meeting happened on a Monday evening, and I happened to have a meeting with this group on Tuesday morning. So when I walked in on Tuesday morning into the meeting room, what I saw were a lot of very ashen-faced, quiet people, and 2 of the 8 of them literally yelling at one another. And one of them was saying, "I can't believe you didn't come to the meeting last night. That was so irresponsible for you. I'm tired of having to pick up for you and do your work all the time. You're a terrible team player." And the other person was giving as good as he had gotten. And it turned out that I was doing some work with one of the 2 people that was having this exchange, and his name was Greg, and he was the one who had been at the meeting, and it turned out he'd had to do some presenting of the other person, Wayne's, materials, and hadn't felt comfortable about that. That's why he was so angry. So after this large meeting, Greg and I had a conversation about what was a way that he could have had that conversation with Wayne more productively and expressed his anger. And he went back that same day and he talked to Wayne. And he started out by apologizing for yelling. And then he got around to talking about his anger. And he said, what I wish I had said to you, Wayne, was that when you didn't come to the meeting last night, I was really angry. I felt that it now fell on us, the rest of the team, to present material that really it was your place to present. I was uncomfortable presenting it. I don't know it like you do. I felt embarrassed, and I was worried about whether or not the presentation would go well being done by someone who didn't know the material like you did. And what I would like to ask of you in the future is that if you can't make a meeting or a presentation, please would you send somebody else in your place from your department who knows the material and can answer the board's questions? How would you feel about that? And that was so much of a better approach. It really was the start of a good conversation between the 2 of them. And what made it so much better than the first way that he expressed his anger was 2 things. One, he made a clear request. If I'm just angry and yelling at you, it's hard for you to know what to do with that. But when I make a request of you, there's an opportunity there for you to try to do something to make it better. The second thing he did that was so useful was he didn't make Wayne responsible for his anger. He didn't say, "Wayne, you made me angry by not coming last night." He simply said, "When you didn't come, I felt angry," which that format, "when you did X, I felt Y," is a much more productive way to express your anger. And it worked out very well for the 2 of them.